Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to our Team Empower call. Is this our last one for June, or is there another Thursday in June? I'm not sure. It's all mushed together. But welcome to our Team Empower call. We're super excited to have you guys here. I know it's hard with summer, but we do appreciate the effort that you guys make to be here. Just by way of announcement, Shift Shop does have another sneak peek coming up on Beachbody On Demand. I'm pretty sure that I read it was July 3rd that they were going to be doing that. So that's pretty awesome. The whole program will be released July 12th. And it will be on demand, or you can buy the DVDs. I do know that you can order what are they called? Like the little targets for the floor kind of thing. Whatever they are. I know those are available to order. We also have our Team Empower tanks have they been ordered, Al?
Yep.
They've been ordered. If anybody else wants one that hasn't already given Allie her order, let us know. How much are they again?
19, and then if you need like an XL, if you go into like XL or 2XL, then it's an extra $1. So plus.
Or that. Sorry. Plus, is that only for the guys that are going to Summit that can get them?
Everyone for sure that is going to have one at Summit if they want, but the whole team can have them. And we're hoping if you're submitting your bats, then that's the tank that you'll be receiving. Okay. So, yeah, so there's that. It should be really cute. I'm excited.
Totally. They're going to be way cute. So, okay. So tonight I wanted to talk about finding kind of like your area of expertise, because a lot of times when we start coaching, we kind of like, first of all, go into it saying like, I just want to help people, which is like awesome. Like that's great to want to help people. But it can be easy to like lose your vision, and can be easy to kind of like lose yourself. And then I know for myself, like I found myself for a long time feeling like I needed to be what my coach was and like do things the way she did them, which I didn't like. Like it just didn't like really, it wasn't that I didn't think it was right. It just wasn't my favorite thing to do. But I felt like that was the only way to be successful. But that's not true. It's all about finding your message and like what your message is. Because really what it comes down to is being a business owner is basically being a problem solver. Not necessarily a problem solver in the sense of like, Mom, I'm hungry for like the 15th time. Like I don't want to solve any more of those problems, but more of like solving the problems that you enjoy solving. And so that's really what it, like in the simplest form, that's what it's going to come down to, is you finding the problems you enjoy solving and capitalizing on that. So what we're going to do is I want you guys to grab a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil, and I'm going to have you kind of do some brainstorming for a second. Oh, my pen's right there. Okay, what I'm going to have you do is fold your paper in half. You can do it either way. I prefer hot dog style in this particular exercise, back to elementary school.
You're typing super loud.
Sorry. Leanne just asked if she was too late. Okay, So what I'm going to have you do on your very first, on your left-hand side, I want you to write down the things you're good at, okay? So like what you feel like you are really good at. And I want you to be as specific as possible, not just like, I like to listen, like I like to help people, like get down to the nitty-gritty as specific as you possibly can. What are some things that you are good at? Hey, Leanne, I think you just joined us by phone, right? Is that you, Leanne?
Yes, I did.
Okay, hey, so what we're doing right now is grab a piece of paper and fold it in half.
Okay.
And on the first side of the piece of paper, you're going to write down the things that you are good at, like as specific as possible.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, now what I'm going to have you guys do is now on the other side of the piece of paper, on your other column, I want you, Sarah's like cracking up. I want you guys to write what you're passionate about. So what are the things that you could talk to anybody about for hours and enjoy it and love it and embrace it? Like, what are your passions? What is something that you would do for free forever just because you love it?
What if your passion doesn't necessarily like cost money? What do you mean for free?
Like you would just do it regardless. Like you would, like one of mine is teaching the gospel. Like I would just like do it, just do it. Not because I was told to, or I had to, or somebody paid me to, something like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so now what you're going to do with this list is you're going to open up your paper and you're going to look at both sides. And those things that happen to be on both sides, those things that you are passionate about, that you love, and the thing that you feel like you're good at, if they're in both columns, then circle them. If they're not in both columns, then you're going to cross them out. So for example, I put something that I am good at is photography, but I don't have a passion for it. I don't enjoy it. It doesn't bring me happiness. So I would cross that out. So go ahead and circle the ones that are in both columns and cross out the ones that are not. Okay, so why make this list? So the reason why is because this is your area of genius. These things that are circled, things that you have a passion for and that you feel like you're good at, those are the areas that you need to focus on when you're posting on your page, when you're focusing on creating your groups, when you're working on sharing something, sharing a particular program with somebody, or trying to help somebody find where they need to go. Because if your only focus on, for growing your page or selling a challenge pack is to, make money or to pay off debt or to grow your team or just to simply help somebody, you're going to burn out because you're going to have too many problems coming at you, too many problems to solve. And if they're not the ones that you enjoy solving, then it gets old and you get burned out. So, because I know for me, I got so tired and burned out of clean eating groups that I dreaded them, because I feel like, I just felt like I can't comment one more time on somebody's post and say, ooh, that looks yummy, or, oh, that looks great. I just got burnt out because it wasn't my passion. Clean eating, it's great, but it's not something I loved and wanted to talk about. However, talking about, gaining confidence and taking care of yourself and in putting yourself first for a few minutes and making sure you're keeping yourself healthy and strong, and that, then rolls into taking care of your family. I'm passionate about it. That's something that I love to talk about. I would talk about all the time, and it's something that I know well enough that I can have a conversation about. And on the same, on the opposite side of the token, same type of idea is if you're passionate about it, but you don't really know a lot about it, it also becomes difficult to share. So for example, when I first started coaching, I loved weightlifting. That was something that changed everything for me, and I loved it and I was passionate about it, but I didn't really know a lot about it. All I knew is just the little tiny bit of the Chalene Extreme that I had experienced. And so I didn't feel comfortable in really having a conversation around it because I didn't know a lot. So that had to kind of be put on hold for a minute for me to kind of do some more research and to feel more comfortable. Not saying you have to be an expert, but to feel more comfortable in being able to share it. And so that's why it's so important to be able to narrow in and zone in on where your passion is, what you're good at, and bring those together, because that's going to help you find your ideal client. That's what's going to help you find what it is that you want to share and how you want to help that person. Because a lot of times, like I was saying before, we go into it saying, I just want to help people. And that's just too big and too broad. That's too many people, too many problems, too many different directions. But as small and narrow and specific as possible as you can get in what problems you want to solve and what people you want to work with, who you connect with, that's what's going to lead you towards not only just success with your business, but feeling fulfilled and being fueled and being fed by the work that you put in. Because let's be honest, we all know this is hard. It's hard. It's not coaching is not like a get rich quick kind of a thing. Like it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of effort. It's hard. You give a lot from your heart. But if you're doing something you're passionate about and something that you love, then it makes it all worth it. So what I want to do really quick is I just want to ask you guys, what is one thing on your list that you found to be an area of passion and you feel like you're good at? And then we'll just kind of build from there. So Katie, you're number one in my squares. What's one thing that you circled on both of your lists?
Planning, which is just kind of, I guess, ironic because I don't feel like I'm good at executing plans. I just like making them, and enjoy like discussing, I guess, the idea of planning and preparing for things. So
that's awesome. Like that's perfect because that will speak to a person that's like, I'm a planner. Like, I want to know about that. I want to do that. Like, I know there's a girl that I follow that she has like the coolest notebook that she like arranges little sticky notes in and like she doodles in for like her daily day planner kind of thing. And it just looks cool. Like, I just want to know what she's doing because that speaks to me and that's fun for me to see. And so as you're kind of narrowing in on those things, like planning and the fact that you enjoy it, and you're developing your skills in it, that will speak to people. That will connect with people. So that's something you want to keep posting about a lot, you know, and sharing a lot. Maybe even creating like a free little 3-day group around, you know, like how to plan and because that is what will attract those people to you. It doesn't all have to be 21 Day Fix and Shakeology, but it can be, that's how you're adding value is through sharing your passion and what you're good at. So that's awesome. I like that. Totally capitalize on that, Katie. How about you, Sarah? What's something that was on both of your lists?
I don't have a lot on my list that doesn't revolve around cattle, but I like to meal plan, and I'm good at it when I do it. Or I should say not plan, but prep. You know, so that's on both my lists.
That's perfect. And want to know what? I think that it's cool too that you have a lot of stuff about cattle on both of your lists because that will connect with people. You know, I mean, look at what is her name now? She cooks the what?
Pioneer Woman.
Yes, the Pioneer Woman. Okay.
Yes.
So she that's like her. That's her image. That's her brand. And it's because it's something that she loves. It's something that she does. And then she connects it to her cooking. Her cooking isn't her. It's her life on the ranch and, cattle and that kind of stuff. And so I think that that's cool for you to be able to embrace that part of your life because that will connect with a lot of people, and then you can bring in the meal planning and, that kind of stuff. For me, like I hate meal planning. I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. It's not fun. Like I'll do it because I have to, but it's not something I could spend a lot of time talking about because I'm just like, just get it over. But the fact that you have found that you love it and that you're good at it, you can capitalize on that because that will connect with people. That will solve people's problems. Like moms like you who live on a ranch, who have husband in and out, and you're working with the cows and you're, up early, to bed late, like you need your meal planning, so you're finding your ideal client and then wrapping what you have to share, which is, these different programs and Shakeology and meal planning and stuff, wrapping that around the problems that you encounter in that particular person's life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that that's so cool that you have that niche, like you have that area. Don't be afraid of it. Like capitalize on it, share it, and use it in a way that will connect with people because you have some really great insights. So that's awesome. Great job, Sarah. Hi guys, go get him some water. They just got back from a walk and it's like so hot outside. Okay, next up, Kelly, what is something that was on both of your lists?
Details being organized. Like I love making my daily list or weekly list. So I, at work they laugh at me because I have, OCD. I have different binders for everything. I like list.
That's awesome. Well, and I think that that like goes right back up to what Katie was talking about too, is, you know, like you will connect with somebody. Somebody will see you talking about lists. And as you share, you know, like this is what's worked for me. And, you know, this is how I make my binders, or this is how I make my lists, or this is how I color code things, or how whatever it is that works for you. As you share that, it will speak to somebody and it will solve their problem, because, you know, there's somebody out there that's trying to figure out how to get more organized and how to create some sort of system for their life, and they'll see what you're doing and that will connect with them, which will make them then want to learn more about what you're doing. And so I think that that's fantastic. Like, keep working on that, keep sharing it, and capitalize on your passion for it and the fact that you're good at it. Like, keep sharing that. So that's really great. Great job, Kelly. Allie.
I'm totally not organized. Like, I'm super crappy at that. I'm not organized at all. So a lot of times, like, these passions or talents that we have, we think everybody just knows how to do them, you know? And so I'm sure since organization maybe comes to you just like second nature, you might think, well, what would I even share? Like, I don't even know what to share. That's so boring. Everyone knows that. But really, everyone doesn't know that, you know? So if you are, I would totally stop and read something about being more organized. And you could even like break it up into different areas of organization, whether you're organizing your kids' schedules or your pantry or how you keep your car clean, or, you know, just things like that you maybe just take for granted on how you do that. I would totally read stuff like that because I suck at organizing. So yeah, just throwing that out there.
Yes, I totally agree. Well, and I read something, or maybe listened to something once, that said a lot of the things that we share on social media, they're things that people can look, you know, can Google, they can look on Pinterest. They can, like, it's not like it's earth shattering. It's not like it's anything new, but yet it's something that they want to hear from you. Like, they would rather, the point is sharing this because they want to hear it from you, not necessarily going somewhere to try and find it, because they've identified with you, they've connected with you. So yeah, I totally agree, Allie. It's not like it's anything that's amazing. It's just something that comes natural to you and that you're good at and you enjoy sharing. So, Al, what was something on both of your lists?
Mine are, anyway, both of my lists say making people smile. Like, I really have a passion for making people happy and just like being positive and stuff. Yeah, that's important to me, and I like doing that, and I would do that for free. And I also put in there like designing, and I love typography, which is really stupid and geeky, but I totally love it. I love putting together little like graphics and stuff. Yeah, that's what's on my list.
I think that's cool. I think that's super awesome. And you know what? I'm going to ask, I'm actually going to go up to Katie, and I'm going to ask Katie, from what you've heard us talk about through these last couple of people, how would you encourage Allie to use her area of genius to share her message?
I guess I'm not sure what you want me to say. I don't know, like maybe posting like positive or inspirational quotes, or like silly things that'll make people smile. I'm not sure, like like just what you'd post on Facebook, like to achieve that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, so like your area of genius was making plans. And
Mhm.
to capitalize on that and connect with a certain person and solve people's problems is by sharing how you make plans and how that changes your life, how that helps you. So how could Allie's area of genius, mind you, it is a little more tricky just because it's a little more like objective. But
Yeah, and it's harder when you're like thinking about someone else too, I guess, maybe.
yeah.
How would you capitalize on that? Well, okay, I actually have another friend who is actually a Beachbody coach, but I didn't know when I signed up with you guys. But she's doing like a week-long like happiness project. So Allie could do something like that, like a happiness group or something like that.
Totally. Love that. Yes. See? So do you guys see how when you find your area of passion and your area of genius, how like the options are limitless. There's so many options and there's so many ways to use what you have and what you're good at to make a difference, but also to like grow and share your message. And so don't be afraid if it's like super small and narrow, just like with Sarah, how it's like, it's cattle. I don't really know, but that's good. Like the more narrowed in you can get, the better. And it doesn't mean that your message can't grow and expand over time, because you'll grow and expand over time. So that's great. But right now, don't feel like you need to be everything for everybody. Just focus in on your ideal client. And the only way to do that is to reverse engineer it to focusing in on where your passions and the areas of your understanding that you're comfortable with, where those intersect. That's where you want to live, and that's where you want to share from. Erin's on mute. It says she's sitting somewhere. I'm guessing she's sitting with her kids who are in the bathtub. So Erin, if you want to unmute yourself, then you can totally talk, but if not, I'll just keep going. Okay, Miss Leanne, what were two things, or the thing that was on both of your lists?
Well, I don't really have anything that matches on both lists. I can tell you I'm not very good at naming things that I'm good at. But when I look at the list on my passionate list, that was easy to come up with. So I think I need to spend time brainstorming and trying to identify for myself things I'm good at. I wrote down a couple of things. I wrote down that I feel like I'm good at being positive, and I feel like I'm good at helping others, which does kind of go along with my passions. But yeah, I'm really terrible at that. I've never been good at that.
Well, I think that's great. I think that it's pretty common to be able to list more passions than the things that you're good at, because I think we are our own worst critics, and we kind of expect perfection in order to say or own something that we're good at. So I would dare say that you're good at more than what you give yourself credit for. And so it's not necessarily looking at something that you are like an expert on, because not very many of us are experts on very many things, but just something you feel comfortable enough to have a conversation about, that you feel comfortable enough to be able to share and feel like you have something valuable to share. Because I'm definitely not an expert on like getting over failure or having confidence. Like I'm not, but I feel like I've been through enough that I have enough understanding to have a conversation, to be able to solve a problem.
Right. Okay.
So if that makes sense.
That makes perfect sense. And I can come up with a couple of things based on that. But like to sit down, and when you said, like when I jumped on and you said do that, I was like panicked. Like it was like blank. The first thing I wrote down was 3 question marks. I don't know. But like when you rephrase it that way, some things that immediately I think I could talk to people about is balancing busy schedules. Figuring out how to make it work. What my spring looks like a little bit. And which goes along with my passion of being of family.
Yes, definitely. Most
definitely.
I guess. I love that. I know that you do have a passion, and you're really good at making sure you put family first. What I would do with that is I would take it and now like drill it down more. Instead of just saying family, then I would drill it down more into like, what does it look like? What do you do to put family first? Is it something that you guys do on the weekends? Is it like a nightly thing? Is it some routine that you have in the morning? Is it maybe a family motto? Like drill it down as specific as you can, because that will, 1, give you more jumping off points, and 2, will help you connect more specifically with who you want to work with, and because you can solve their problems and you can help them.
Okay.
And so too, for all of you, I like how Leon said, I have a whole list of passions. Like if you are getting to a point where you're like, okay, I need to kind of evolve. I need to expand my message. I need to learn more. Start with your passions and dig in there. Don't start with what you feel like you're good at and try and find a passion for it, because it's not going to work that way. Start with what you're passionate about, and if you feel like you need to learn more, then continue to educate yourself in that area. So go that direction instead of from what you're good at to finding a passion for it. So ultimately, in the end, in a nutshell, what our goal here is to make sure that we're tailoring our message around your area of genius. So you're tailoring what you have to share around what you enjoy sharing and what you're good at sharing. And so I know for like Stacy, for example, so the person that she's going to want to focus on and work with is somebody who's like hardcore, who likes to do races, who's kind of like a little bad A and like is amazing. Okay. So that's who that's kind of her area of genius. That's kind of where she's developing. That's not where her story started. That's not where her area of genius was a year ago, but that's something that has developed over time. And so now she's sharing that, which in connection, you're going to be, I would dare say Stacy's probably sharing more of like Insanity Max 30 and what's the one, Shift Shop, and like, oh goodness, stop. All of those more than like I would be with my particular client. I know that there was a coach that we had at one time that she was really into yoga. And so she talked a lot about PiYo. And that, because that really appealed to her demographic. So taking what you have to share and tailoring it around your message is what will allow you to find joy and success in what you're doing. Because it's all too often, there's so many programs that we all of a sudden feel like we need to solve every problem for every person. And that's not your job. It's your job to tailor your message in a way that it will speak to the people that you want to help because you know how to help and you have a passion for helping. That doesn't mean that you're not a nice person because you don't want to help everybody or that you're mean or anything. It means that you're smart because you actually have something to give to the person who needs you, instead of trying to like fake it for the people that just you're not connecting with and that maybe need a different coach. Because that's one of the beauty of there being so many coaches, is that there's somebody for everybody. So your job is to find those people and attract those people that you can help because you understand. So now that I've just said the same thing like 15 times, hopefully it makes sense. Do you guys have any questions or anything to add or any thoughts or anything? Because I feel like I've just really been talking a lot. And Allie's gone. Anything? Everybody's good?
I just appreciate your like clarification about the things that we're good at, that we don't necessarily have to be an expert, because I felt the same way that the other gal was feeling. Like I couldn't put very much on that. Like planning lessons and meals and schedules was the only thing that I put on that side of the list, and I just added 2 more things. So I was glad for that clarification. That kind of helped me like differentiate that I don't have to be perfect or like the best ever at it to say that I'm good at it. So
yes, totally. You do not need to be an expert. Like we're not doctors or brain surgeons or anything. Like, yeah, we expect them to be experts, but just something that you feel comfortable with. And here's something I was going to tell you guys that goes along with it. There's something that you don't like. If you don't like it, don't do it. Like there's no reason to continue to do something that you don't enjoy doing. But that doesn't mean that you just kick it to the curb. It means that you commit to finding another way to do it. So, for example, like with meal planning, how I said, it's not my thing. Like I don't enjoy it. So I don't really talk about it a lot. Like that's not really my thing. But I still have to find a way in order to share with people nutrition and being healthy. And so my way is sharing more of like progression, not perfection, and the baby stepping into it. I know many of you have expressed like that you don't enjoy sending messages. I totally get that. Like it's not exactly the most fun thing to do. But there are many other ways to share your message without sending personal messages. But if you're going to change your direction, if you're going to change what you're doing, you need to be committed to learning something new and not just saying, oh, I just don't like it, and not doing it. And so finding your passion in your message is just as important as making sure you're not like shoving yourself into a hole that you don't enjoy. You need to tailor your message around those things that you do enjoy and then commit to finding a different way to solving the things that you don't enjoy. So hopefully that makes sense. And we can do another call about that a different day. So anyway, all right, you guys. Well, you're awesome. I can see many of you are like out and about. So thank you for joining us, and we will see you guys next Thursday, and the countdown to Summit is on. So I'm super excited to see you guys that will be there. And yeah, and if you guys have any questions or anything, feel free to pop into Team Empower and send them our way. So have a good night, guys. Bye.